Buddan. I'm a Jamaican painter and sculptor. My main mediums are oil painting, woodworking, and ceramics. And recently I've been doing more printmaking for fabrics, such as block printing and screen printing. So recently I did a ancestry test so I could find out my ethnic background, and I found a variety of countries, but the main ones were Nigeria and southern India, and I wanted to hone in on those and find fabrics that are prominent within these regions, and I chose the kalamkari, which is found in southern India, as well as the akwet, which is found in Nigeria, and I found that these fabrics were very community-based and respected within the community. It's like community pride because it was handmade and handcrafted. And for the akwet, it's more so woven, but I translated it into silkscreen, whereas the kalamkari, which is block printing as well as hand painting. Yeah, so I've taken different patterns from the akwet, which is, they have 4 specific patterns that are used in the weaving. I've chosen the geometric flower as well as the V, and in the kalamkari, it's very floral and motif-based. So I use that to border the print, and I found that it was just like a great way to incorporate these 2 cultures that I find within myself and learning more about myself while doing this process. I wanted to make my own fabric so that I knew exactly where it came from, so I actually knew the origins of the patterns and the symbols in terms of authenticity, and as well as actually honoring the cultures that I'm influenced by. And something I read while I was researching the akwet cloth from Nigeria is that a clothed body is essential to a complete human identity. And that really resonated to me because clothing plays a major part in how I express myself. Even though today I'm more muted, I love to wear colors, I love colorful makeup, I love a lot of colors. The medium of print influences piece in that specifically for the kalamkari, it involves block printing, so that was a definite. And for the akwet, even though it's woven, screen printing would be the easiest way to print it, especially in multiples. So initially, it was like all at-home things first. So I was dyeing the fabric at home, ironing the fabric, and I did the carving of the ribbolith and the blocks at home. And then once that process was over, it was coming in. Then I would expose the screen. And then once that's done, I had to get all the screen printing things done for all the editions. So that was the first step for the first couple weeks. And then I had to start with the block printing. And then after that, there was some hand painting and then some more block printing. So it was definitely going along with the layers of the print and working around that. So printing on fabric was definitely a struggle. I've definitely done printmaking before, but on paper. I did printing on fabric once, but it was definitely a struggle, specifically for the block printing. The printing wouldn't be as clean as a silkscreen, because that's a different process. There's not really a machine to it, even though you are the machine almost in screen printing, but it definitely allows more inconsistency, which was definitely something that I struggled with because I definitely liked clean edges, which is very hard, and I had to definitely adapt to the circumstance, and this is just a part of the medium. So that it was definitely hard in that aspect. For this print, being that I had to establish exactly what needed to be done, I knew when it was done because I knew every layer that I was doing. So once it was done, it was done. What does my practice mean to you?
What do you get out of it? Get out of practicing art? Why? You don't have to.
This is philosophical. Okay. Okay. My practice is a means of self-expression. It's also a way for me to better understand my culture, my history, to learn about my ancestors and who they were and who I am becoming. I feel like every piece is a self-portrait. No matter what it is, it's a self-portrait because I see myself in it, and it's also a representation of me by combining these numerous cultures and numerous influences. And I'd say it definitely started off as a means of addressing insecurities I had in myself when I was younger, of not fitting into a specific box or not being visibly Indian and trying to fit into that side of my family, versus now where it's just an appreciation for these cultures and how beautiful they are and how I can bring them to a broader audience, as well as even teaching my family members more about their own cultures, because a lot of us don't know about it. We just know that we are of it, kind of thing, you know. We know we are of Indian ancestry, but I don't have the privilege of learning about these things directly from the source. So it's more so my own navigation through it all, and just like reading a lot and doing an ancestry DNA kit and hoping that maybe I learned something from that. So my art practice definitely aids in making me more familiar with myself.